This video demonstrates the Australian Export Awards application portal, managed by the Australian Trade and Investment Commission. It reflects our Australian nation brand colours. Please note that each state and territory portal has their own branding, so you will see different colours when accessing a state-based portal. In the green box in the middle, there is information on how to start an application and, most importantly, a link to the new 2026 program guidelines. In the white box you can see the key dates, which you can refer to at any time. To start an application, in the login box on the left side, enter the email address to be used for the application. After your email has been entered, you will need to retrieve the 6-digit code sent to the email address to commence. Once entered, you will be able to create your password for the next time you log in. And most importantly, a link to the new 2026 program guidelines. In the white box you can see the key dates, which you can refer to at any time. To start an application, in the login box on the left side, enter the email address to be used for the application. After your email has been entered, you will need to retrieve the 6-digit code sent to the email address to commence. Once entered, you will be able to create your password for the next time you log in. Once logged in, you have important award information at the top of the page. To log out or edit account details, click the drop-down by selecting your name at the top right of the page. Click Profile to edit any contact details. To start your application, click the Start Entry button. You need to complete the Category Selection tab to see the rest of the sections of the application form and easily navigate between all tabs. Some states have state-specific categories. These categories do not proceed to national level but use the same entry process to apply in state categories. As you can see in the first box, you have the option to select either national categories or state categories. Select the one that applies, and for today's demonstration, I am applying in the national category, Agribusiness, Food and Beverages. Once selected, the category description will appear. Scroll down and add your business name. You must agree to the terms and conditions set out in the 2026 Australian Export Awards Program Guidelines. Once ready, click Save and Next. Once you have clicked Next, you can navigate through the section tabs at any stage of your application. The application portal will automatically save every few seconds. You can invite other staff in your organisation to also assist or complete the application form. To do this, you will click the plus button at the top right next to Collaborators. Collaborators can have different permissions. Collaborators can view, edit, and submit depending on the permission assigned to the user. This feature may be useful if you have multiple people working on the application across different sections. We encourage you to read and use the guidance provided against questions in the application form. The guidance is on the right-hand side of the page in the grey box. I'll now guide you through each section and the questions. Please note I have pre-filled all the information for ease. The first section is Business Introduction. You can see under each section if it is scored and, if so, the weighting assigned to the section. As you can see here, this section is not scored, and majority of the information is not visible to judges. The only section judges will see is the business name, the year the business was established, the year the business commenced exporting, and a bit lower into this page, if the business has previously won a national award in the last 2 years. The rest of the information on this page is for internal purposes only, such as our due diligence checks outlined in the program guidelines. Please ensure you read and answer each question carefully. If you would like to preview your responses and review the whole application, select the Preview button. Otherwise, after you have completed each section, click Save and Next to move on to the next section. This does a force save, so will minimize any data missing if you move sections through the tabs at the top of the page. The next tab is Section 1, Your Business Story and National Benefit. This section is scored and has a weighting of 40%. There are 7 questions in this section. However, the first 2 questions are not scored and are for promotional purposes only. The remaining 5 questions in the section will contribute to the 40% weighting. Each question has a maximum word count. You will not be able to submit your application if you are over the word count. An exciting element of this portal is the guidance text. As you can see for questions 3 through 5, we have listed the assessment criterion per the program guidelines. This is the criteria the judges will use when assessing each application. Please read the guidance carefully as you are completing each section and make sure you are appropriately addressing the criteria. Please be aware that the criteria may not be directly related to each question. Judges will use responses throughout each section to help them assess how a business aligns to the criteria. Section 2. National Category. This section is scored and has a weighting of 20%. This section only has one question and has a maximum of 300 words. The question will change depending on what category you are applying for. If you are applying in 2 categories, you can only apply for one category at a time. However, you can simply duplicate the form, which I will show you how to do at the end of the video. Once you complete the section, click Save and Next to move to the next section. Section 3. Business and Export Growth Strategy. This section has a score weighting of 40% and has 3 questions. As you can see in the section, there are 2 criterions in this section. Judges will use responses to question 3 to also assess how a business addressed the criteria. A friendly reminder to stay in the word count and answer the questions with the criterion in mind. Click Save and Next when ready. Section 4. Finances, HR and Grants. This section is not weighted and will help judges validate your answers throughout the entire application form. Please answer the questions accordingly and add all information to the relevant fields. Under Question 1, Human Resources Data, we have included an optional text box if you would like to detail any seasonal or casual workers employed. For Question 2, you will detail export revenue across 3 financial years. There is again another optional text box that allows you to explain any year-on-year changes. We recommend you complete this field to explain any changes to judges. Please note that we understand that it is close to the end of a financial year, so data in the 2025-2026 financial year only have to be estimates. Question 3. Export markets. Enter your top 3 to 5 export markets. We encourage where possible to include information against all 5 markets. However, we note some businesses might not export to 5 different markets. Question 4 and 5. If you are ASX listed, upload the necessary report. If you are not an ASX listed company, you have 2 options. Option 1. You can provide the financial data for your profits, assets, and liabilities. Or Option 2. You can attach a letter from a certified practicing accountant that attests to your financial stability. The last question is Question 6. Here you will advise of any state or federal grants you have received. If you have received multiple grants in one financial year, please try where possible to include the total figure for the grants and provide the purpose of the grants in the text box next to the amount. Reminder to click Save and Next before you move on to the final section. The final tab is the Attachments tab. Here you will need to provide a range of images or videos that are for promotional purposes only. Images or videos are not judged and judges will not see this section. Please provide 2 business logos, one of them being a reverse logo which is black or white and must be on a transparent background. You will need to upload 6 images and the file size of each image must be 1 megabyte or higher. Once you are ready to submit, you click Submit Entry at the bottom of the page. If there is an error, you will be alerted with the tabs underlined in red and the question incomplete will also be red. Navigate back to the missing field, update it and then click Submit when ready. Once you have submitted, you should get an email confirmation. You will then be diverted back to the Enter page, which you will see a table below of your entries. To apply in an additional category, you can copy your completed application. To copy your application, tick the box on the left-hand side and click the Copy button. Give it a few seconds to load, and you will then see 2 applications. The new copied application will show as in progress under the status column. You can then click on the business name of the additional application form. Once it opens up the form, you can then select the second category you want to apply for. All information is carried over from the first application you submitted. So all you need to do for this second application is update the category here under the Category Selection tab, and then navigate to Section 2, National Category tab to answer the question for the new category. It is important to update your response to the national category question. As you can see, the judges will look for specialized knowledge of that sector. Once you have completed the additional application form, click on Submit. A reminder that a business is limited to applying to 2 national categories this year. However, this is subject to eligibility. Please read the program guidelines to understand this further. If you experience any issues with your application, get in touch with your state or territory program contacts. That wraps up the demonstration for the new 2026 Australian Export Awards application portal. Thank you.